Hello everybody, it is Nahla again, and this is part 3 for Unit 5, Phonology. So we are going to continue with the linking R. Okay, so let me tell you something. Britons are having a problem with the sound R, okay? Sometimes they don't want to pronounce it when it is there, and sometimes they have a specific rule to pronounce it, or when it's not there they just want to pronounce it. Okay, so we are going to see the first case, that's the linking R, the rule that applies for pronouncing the sound R. Okay, so Britons, when they are pronouncing later by itself, they don't pronounce it later, they pronounce it later. So the R is probably silent. And dear, they don't pronounce it dear, they pronounce it dia. And higher, they don't pronounce it higher, they pronounce it higher. So the R at the end is not usually pronounced. But when there is another word coming after it, and if it follows the rule that the R is in the middle, okay, and to the left side is schwa. Schwa is one of the vowels, isolated speech sound. So if the schwa is available is there in the left side of the sound r, and there is any vowel that comes after r to the left side of the r, then they pronounce the r. So the first example over here is this one, the later on. Usually if it's just later, they don't say it later, they say later. And but if it comes, if you see the phonetic transcription, the R is preceded by schwa. Schwa is it is the E that is written upside down, and it's one of the vowels. So when it comes before R, if you see here, it's coming, the schwa is before R, and there is a vowel after R. So this R is pronounced, so it is later on, it's not later on, okay? Then the second one is Dear Alan. It's not going to be Dear Alan, it's going to be Dear Alan, okay? They're going to pronounce the R. Then higher up as well, before R there is schwa, and after R there is a vowel, so the R is pronounced. This is what linking R is. Linking R means that it has a specific rule for R to be pronounced by Britons, by British. So if there is a schwa before R, and if there is a vowel after R, this R is going to be pronounced, and this is called the linking R. Now we are going to see what the intrusive R is. The intrusive R, the rule is the same, okay? If the first word, but here in the intrusive R, the R is not available, there is no R written in the words, but they're inserting an R. So it's not, if you see here the first example, it's idea of. There is no R between idea and R of. But what do? It follows the rule. Idea, it ends with a schwa, and of begins with a vowel. So we basically insert the sound r in between idea and of. So it's not going to be idea of, it's going to be idea of. There is a very slight sound in between, so it is idea of, it's not idea of. So the rule is the same. Before R there is a schwa, and after R there is a vowel. And in the first case, in linking R, there is R present and it's pronounced. In the second case, in the intrusive R, there is no R between the schwa and the vowel, but we are adding an R over there. So that is what linking R and intrusive R is. Next up, we are going to see aspiration. Okay, so aspiration is something very simple. It says that if we keep a candle in front of our mouth and we pronounce some sounds, like here the sounds are k, p, and t. When the sound k, p, and t is pronounced, it comes out, when they are in the beginning, it comes out with a little puff of air. So this puff of air is aspiration. This is what we say, it's aspirated, okay? These are the three sounds, k, p, and t. But there is a rule for it to be aspirated. The rule is that this k, p, or t should be in the beginning of a syllable. Okay, they should be in the beginning of a syllable, and after these sounds, the k, p, and t, there should be a vowel. So if these sounds are in the beginning of a syllable and then after it comes a vowel, then this sound, the sound k, the sound p, the sound k, the sound t, the sound p, is aspirated. We say it is aspirated. That means there is a puff of air when you say the first p. Now let's see the examples over here. That is peep. If you see the first example over here is peep. The first p in peep is aspirated. The first t in tie, when you say tie, keep your finger in front of your mouth and you say tie. When you say tie, there is a puff of air coming out of your mouth after you say t, the first t. The same goes with peep. When you say peep, there is a slight aspiration after the first p. When you say keen, there is an aspiration after the first k. Why? Because these sounds, when they are followed by a vowel, it is aspirated. And the symbol for aspiration is this. That is a small letter H at the top. So that is what represents aspiration, and that is it for aspiration. We will see consonant clusters in the next video, and after that we will cover the last part, that is the syllable structure.